What up, patients? This is Marquis
and AD.
And you are tuned in to the PainKillers.
Yeah, man.
Hey, we are on location. I know y'all probably like, yo, y'all didn't change it up. Yeah, we had to do it at a different place today because we had to come to a whole nother state.
Oh, man.
You know, we usually be recording in L.A.
Okay, that's how I feel, man. Like when I come to the South now, sometimes, man.
Facts. You know, he out there in sunny LA with
I
all the
love
bougie people.
I love the South. I'm from the South. I'm always gonna have love for the South. But it's something, man. That plane ride, I just don't be want to take no more. Like I just be like,
it's long, right?
I just be like, nah, I'm
dreading
good.
it.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. Yeah.
Listen, I get it.
But I had to come in and be in person for this though.
We couldn't.
I had to be in person for this.
Virtual on this one.
I couldn't be like Zoom in. I had to be in person for this. I can't wait. So,
hey, well, I'm gonna let you tell them what we talking about today. What this episode is about before we go into this intro.
I gotta get my mic right, man. Listen, all right. This is crazy because Boone had this idea and now, notice I said Boone. I didn't have this idea. I just want all of the painkillers to know I didn't have this idea. This is Boone's idea of bringing a previous relationship.
It's you call it, it's the case of the ex.
So the case of the ex, he says, yo, we need to have exes on. And I'm like, not me, baby. No. Well, can't find them. I don't even know. I don't know them. I don't know them. I don't know them. I don't. Who is ex? I don't have them. Don't have them. They're not called ex. They call
funny, right?
They're not called ex. They call lessons learned.
Lessons learned.
So I'm good.
Capiche?
I learned about me in them. I wasn't perfect. I'm messed up. I'm jacked up. But we're gonna get into some real conversation
right after this intro.
Yeah,
We'll be right back.
If there's some medication I could take to make me wanna hate you and kill this ache. If there's some medication I could take, no, I would do it. But they don't got a pill for this.
All right, welcome back to the podcast, man. Hey, we're here for another episode. So, as we just said in the intro, AD was all crunk and hype and all that kind of stuff. So, I had this idea last season, and I was like, preparing for this season, I was like, we talk about different ideas and concepts. I was like, we should do a show with our exes.
Yeah.
And AD just looked at me like this. Do some little sound. Yeah, do some sound effects right there. Like.
Crickets.
And he was like, yeah, nope.
No, not me, fam.
But I thought it was important. We talk about, talking your pain away. And sometimes I think the way our society is, we don't really know how to have life or relationships after a breakup.
Yeah.
And I have a person in my life that's super, super dear to me then and dear to me now after some friction in between. And so I wanted to bring this young lady on to have this conversation on the PainKillers podcast. She is one of my best, closest friend in the world. Was in the beginning and finally is again.
Finally.
Her name is Toia, man. She is my ex. Welcome to the PainKillers.
That's your title.
The ex.
That's your title. She is my ex. Dum dum dum.
Dum 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 dum.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Man, hey, listen. I'm just gonna say thank you for coming on, because this is about to get good. This is about to get good. And let me get this disclaimer. I don't have no bad blood with any of my exes. I don't have no like we don't communicate. I don't know.
Do y'all even have blood?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, You know, we talked about this in the other episodes.
Facts.
You know, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Soft
so
spot.
yeah, it's a soft spot. So yeah, man. But I got some questions for you today.
Let's
Here he go.
Let's
No,
go.
because all right. So this is the thing, though. So Boone, you had the courage to bring Toia on,
Yes.
right? So Toia, you are still a friend of Boone.
Yep.
How long have you known him?
Wow.
2000.
5, 6.
No, probably like 2004.
4.
Wow.
something
Yeah,
like that.
2004.
All right. So how was it pre-relationship and then in relationship?
We were best friends pre-relationship. I used to chase her down. Oh, I'm sorry. You asked her the question.
Right.
Yeah.
AD.
Toia. All right. All right. So yeah, I mean, like pre-relationship, you know, like, because one of the things that we always hear is men don't keep the same energy. So whatever it took to get you,
Wow.
we
That's
don't keep
good.
it
That is good.
once
That's
we got you.
so good,
right?
AD. Y'all need to give a round of applause for AD. That's so good. That's so good.
So how was it, you know, pre, and then how was it, you know, once y'all got into it?
So pre-relationship, we were very good friends. We hung out all the time. I was
Concerts,
always
parks.
Yeah, concerts, parks. I was always at his office before I had to go to work or something. We just kind of hung out. We was always friends.
Yeah.
Despite him being in relationships, we were friends. We didn't have
We
any
would talk about our
issues.
relationships to each
Yeah,
other.
he knew all of the guys I was dealing with.
And I wanted to fight.
Well,
Yep. Oh, don't maybe say names.
Then,
Oh, no, we ain't gonna say no names now. We famous now. We ain't gonna make other people famous.
you know,
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you famous for free. You gotta pay for that.
I don't remember none of his ex-girlfriends' names.
We don't know
No,
them.
I don't know 'em.
We don't.
I don't.
Dum, 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 dum.
They couldn't match my energy though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But it was good before the relationship.
Okay.
And we kind of but see, the relationship was different because we was friends for like 10 years
Yeah, before we even dated.
before we even dated.
Okay.
I was trying to date her, and
And
she
I would
wasn't giving
tell
me
him no.
no attention. Like, she was like,
No.
boy, bye. No.
For real?
Like,
He
yeah.
was a pastor.
And she would say that all the time. Like, she would like, I would come, like, it would be her and her girls. We would hang out, and I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna take my shot today. Take my shot. And she'd be like, you a pastor. So they all be drinking. I'd just be sitting there. She'd be like, you don't
He
even
wouldn't
drink.
drink. He wouldn't drink. He would get mad if we would go on vacations without him. Like, we
Yeah.
were going to Hawaii to the Pro Bowl, and he was like, why y'all didn't? What you gonna do with us?
That's what she would say.
Well, I mean,
The pastor.
you
At
enjoy the
Pro Bowl.
yeah.
In Hawaii.
What's
he
wrong
was
with
gonna-
that?
What he was gonna do?
What's wrong with that? I went to Super Bowl. Well, I wasn't a pastor,
You were
no more,
exactly.
but still, I would have went as a pastor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, people have this such a connotation when it comes
True.
to that, but that's a whole nother.
True.
That's a whole nother podcast.
It is a whole nother podcast. But I mean, we were just cool. We
Yeah.
were best friends. I knew his parents, his brother. I mean, we just kind of hung out. And I don't know.
Was I a nice person and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying?
You were nice.
Yeah, you was nice too. You was nice too.
You thinking about that?
Was nice.
Was right.
You was
She
nice
is
too.
nice.
I mean, he really he was daydreaming.
is nice.
You really was nice too. You was nice. You was nice.
She was nice.
And that was pretty much it.
You
He
was
a-
smart.
the
You
youth
was
pastor.
kind. You was important. Okay.
She was
I'm sorry.
important.
Still am important.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I just But no, we were just friends. I mean, I just didn't take it no further than that. And I think he left the church we both were attending together. He was the youth pastor. I kind of was just in and out. I didn't like hanging with a lot of people. I was the one that was leaving before church service was over and was like, look, call me when you're done.
Yeah.
Facts.
And then I don't know, how did we?
I think we went out to eat one night. I think it was. No, I know how it was. After every Bible study, I would drive out to your house and just talk to you in the truck.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that's how it started.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I think yeah.
It was more just like a friendship.
Yeah,
that
it was just like
developed.
it kind of like just
Yeah.
evolved.
So
Yeah.
so nobody had the will you be my girlfriend? Check yes or no box.
Well, no, I had that in the beginning, and she kept saying no. So at this point, I was just like, well, I'm just gonna be a friend.
All right, and
And
then
then I needed a friend even more. So then I would drive out to her house after Bible study, and then she would get in the truck. We would talk, and it just started happening.
So Toya, what made you, like give it a try?
We were just kind of hanging more. I was finding out more about him. We was having fun. And then I was like, well, let me see. Since he not at the old church anymore, let's see what it's about. You know, it's like he matured a little bit, because I used to tell him he was always immature because he played too much.
You know, when you like somebody, you play. You're very playful.
he
You know,
just
you be
played
hitting their
too much.
head and playing with their
Yeah.
hair. And
And would hit me, throw stuff across the desk.
because, you know,
at
guys
me.
don't know how to say, I like you. So they be like,
He
Said
like
be
that.
So but I mean, like, cause I think that is a conversation within itself
Yeah.
of men feeling like they can openly express, their point of interest.
for sure.
But I will say, in my boy's defense, though, he had previously
He did.
expressed his interest.
He did.
So
I didn't take him serious.
And I got
you didn't take him
rejected.
serious? So
and
guess what?
rejected.
So-
and rejected.
Nobody didn't reject you.
yes, you did.
No means rejection
Listen,
in a man's eyes.
But what I'm saying is, is that you rejected him. He was serious. Then he just went to playing.
No, he was
He
playing.
was playing. He was playing
but
in.
it was playing
Alright.
in. That's why I didn't take him serious, because
Alright.
he was playing in. So
Okay.
I was just like, well, no, he not serious.
Yeah, I think that's what she
and
did
then,
say.
but then
yeah.
I'm older than Boone too. as
Yeah,
well. A
I
lot of
always
people
had the
don't
thing
know.
for older
I'm
women,
older than Boone.
which was always
Oh.
a problem.
Okay.
And
why
then
was that? Why was that
I
always a
decided to
problem?
go younger, and I was like, this is why I'm go older. Like, I don't know. Like,
But y'all, you could say that about this is
This is-
older too,
this-
because it didn't work.
Oh,
put some sound effects right here. Like,
Okay.
back to 80.
it's some subtle shots being thrown
gonna
over
be
here.
some.
And I don't know what's happening. I don't
It's
know.
gonna be
I don't
some.
know what's happening. But so something developed.
Yes, something
and,
developed.
And you were just like,
it
yo,
just
like,
kind
all
of
right, let's do it.
transferred into dating. Like we were hanging out. I mean, I don't even know if we put a title on it, really.
No, it was just like honestly, man, it was like so natural. It's like I don't even know how to explain it. You know how you watch something and you can have either a hard cut to the next scene or you can have like a seamless cut.
Yeah.
And I felt like this was just like a seamless thing. It was like I transitioned out of something and then we transitioned into something else like that.
Okay.
And then we was all in this emotion or this vibe and this connection, and it became natural. It wasn't like she put demands on me like, oh, I need to hear from you every day and we need to do this
Right.
every day, every week or da da da. It was like, hey, I'm coming over at the Bible study, or I'm doing this, or I will go meet her in between her massage sessions and stuff like that. Like, it was just like a natural type of thing.
Yeah.
So Toya, let me ask you a question because it just naturally went there. It was no, it was organic.
It was very
It, was,
weird.
it was very grassroots, right? So it wasn't necessarily a title put on it.
It wasn't.
Our culture is so big on titles,
It
right?
wasn't.
Yeah,
So-
Toya's never been into titles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, because I think that's different for a woman, because you normally hear that from a guy. Like a guy normally is like, yo, like, I'm really not big on titles. Let's just see where it goes. Let's see what's
I've
up.
never been big on titles.
Why is that?
I think it just put unnecessary pressure on the relationship.
Toya, you my nigga.
But see, hold on, AD, listen, AD, listen, like that's whenever I was around Toya, when we was even just friends, like it was like she was just the homie. Like
Yeah.
she was easy to get along with. She was easy to talk to. She wasn't judgmental. She wasn't like, it was just like a crazy vibe. Like, and then she would be in a group of a whole bunch of other girls.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, y'all just too catty for me. And like,
Yeah.
y'all just doing too much talking. Like, she just was never like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, it made me draw even more to her. I was like, yo, she got a dope vibe,
Yeah.
So when you say like, that's how I felt. Like,
Yeah.
this is the nigga.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the homie.
Yeah, she's the homie.
We can't really quote him right now.
Yeah.
Homie lover friend.
Yeah.
somebody said that. I ain't gonna.
Facts.
I can't really quote him.
Facts.
'Cause cancel culture. You know what I'm saying? but But I do think that those are naturally the best relationships to be in. You
Yeah.
don't feel the pressure.
Yeah.
You just do what feels right.
Right.
Correct.
And then also too, I think it translates to you remotely being faithful because I don't want to hurt my friend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But that was the other thing, like, before we get, like, we'll get there, but, like, even prior to any of our friction, we talked about everything. It was no
Yeah.
real big frictions. Like, she probably was the easiest person to talk to, so it was not like we had to hide anything. We would just put everything out there on the table, and I didn't feel like I had to withhold stuff because she was going to tell somebody something like that. Like, we already had 10 years history.
Yeah.
So that trust was already built, and then it was just an easy component to talk to her. So we always talked about everything. Like, even if I did something and she felt a certain kind of way, she would just present it, not like making me feel bad about it or badgering me. She would just be like, you know, I noticed when you da-da-da, that didn't really look too good. And I'd be like, oh, I didn't even notice that or whatever. And we would have those kind of conversations.
Yeah. Because, you know, y'all men are oblivious to a lot.
We
Yeah.
are. We are. But
No, fact, she would say that all the time, like, seriously. Like,
but I also think that we are oblivious to certain things, but women think that we are playing dumb. And it's like, nah, I just really don't know.
Yeah.
Like naive.
I'm naive in that
yeah.
area.
Yeah.
Like you'll have a female be like, oh yeah, she was trying to flirt with you, or she was trying to holler at
Right,
you. And you're like,
yeah,
nah,
yeah.
we were
I
just
didn't
having a
know- yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, see, we never,
Yeah.
we just never had that issue, even if they were flirting
Yep.
Yeah.
or saying anything. I would just kind of hang in the back, observe, and
And that was the other thing about her, like, dude, like, Toya wasn't I need the spotlight or I need to be
Hated
in front. Like,
the spotlight.
I would try
Yeah.
to get her to be a little more up front, and she'd be like, I'm good, and we'll be in the back. Like, and I don't know, it was kind of like a balance. It was like not what everyone said you needed is what you needed. And she added that kind of balance or whatever. And we respect each other. It, like, the parts of me that she wasn't, she was fine with me being that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the parts that she was that I wasn't, I was fine with her being that. Like, Toya was a cussing, walking, dancing, you know, whatever.
locked and loaded.
And I'll be over
All
here
the
like,
time.
I'll pray for you after she finished cussing you out.
Right.
And we was like together. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
what's up.
And it was a vibe. Like, you know, and I didn't make her feel a certain kind of way. She didn't make me feel a certain kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be at church all day and she'd be like, see you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be like, well, why you up there all day? And why you was talking to other people? It was just like, when we finally linked up after church, she was just like, so how was your week this week? What you got going on this week? Da, da, da. It was nothing about why I had to stay so long or
Or
vice
why
versa.
you had to do what you felt that
Yeah.
you were called to do.
Same with her. Like, you know, we could have plans. She'd be like, I just got another booking. I'll be like, cool, just hit me when you're done.
Yeah.
Because I felt like whatever she gave me, I should give back.
Yeah. That's what's up.
But it did cause issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the.
Because that's what I was about to ask. Because
Oh, it's
right
coming.
now we got
It's
the
coming.
we got
It's
the
coming.
roses and the
It's
lilies
coming.
and
It's
the walking in the
coming.
park
It's coming.
and the rainbows and won't he do it
coming.
and ain't he all right and F them other niggas. Okay.
Woo! It's coming.
Right.
So all I'm saying is because obviously,
we not
I mean
together.
obviously,
But I think it needs to be said too now
Okay.
that Toya is not just my ex. Toya is my ex-fiance. Like, we were literally less than
was planning a
yeah,
wedding.
a wedding. Yeah, like we were planning a wedding. We was just about to order invitations. Like, we had
Okay.
just set the day, everything. Like,
Okay.
and I wanted these extravagant, like, invitations.
Bougie.
You remember those invitations that I
Okay.
wanted versus the
Yes.
ones you wanted? Oh
Bougie.
man, I wanted to be like, you know, the rural kingdom when you had the little notice and it comes out and you unroll it.
Okay.
That's the ones that I wanted. She was like, this is so bougie.
And bougie.
She wanted this
for
to
no
plain
reason.
reg- I was like, bruh, like, it's a major announcement.
That's
Like,
it.
Okay.
Everything was a major announcement.
So okay. Everything. So when did it start making the turn? Y'all, you know, you proposed.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all engaged.
Mhm.
We getting ready to walk down this aisle.
Yep.
Yep.
What happened?
You want to do?
You want to start?
I'll start. So, Boone, I think you were maybe 2 or 3 years into the church, your church.
Correct.
All right. So,
She gonna give y'all her perspective because we've already
Yeah.
had this conversation. So maybe you should have it from the perspective of what you thought before we really talked. Remember?
what you mean?
So your initial thought on why you thought that it started going like this or that I called it off versus
Oh.
what we come to the conclusion. Does that make sense? Or
No, I'm just gonna tell my side.
love it.
No, I'm just gonna tell my side.
All right.
So even though Boone was at church all day, and I understood that
The counselor is
you know,
into this, y'all.
it was like everybody don't know the outside of being a pastor. When
Right.
they get home,
They don't.
When they get home and they've preached 3 sermons, they don't want to talk to you.
Because I was doing 3 services, bruh. Yeah.
Bet. They don't.
They don't want to talk
and
to
it's,
you.
And it's not personal.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
like they don't have nothing left at that time. It's
And-
nothing personal. He done talked all day. He done
But
kissed
then-
babies. He done hugged grannies.
But then having a secure woman that understands, because it's the idea that women will be like, well, you gave everybody else all your energy, and then you give me nothing.
I
Right.
just didn't have that perspective.
She didn't
That's
have
what
that
I'm
vibe.
Yeah. I
I'm
just
proud
didn't
of you. Toya, I
I
am
don't
really
know if
proud.
I'm just overstanding
Somebody
or
give me a cookie or something.
understand.
I am proud. I'm gonna give it to you. I am so proud of you.
I am
did.
done
I
with
don't
this
know.
boy.
I guess because I observe a lot.
She watched, yeah, she observed, she
I
watches.
observe people a
Yeah.
lot. I watch their energy a lot, and
She has good discernment. I used to tell her, I'd be like, yo, you got the gift of
Yo.
discernment. She was like, what is that? I don't want no gifts. I don't want no spirit.
I
Like,
didn't. I didn't. Like I don't want to be able to lay hands on nobody.
Right.
Okay.
No, I don't want to be responsible for that.
All right.
But he would do that, and sometimes I would be like, okay, it's okay. Like, I understand. But then it was the other times, well, I want to go out. I want to go out to dinner. Let's go out and eat. And he just was like, I don't feel like going anywhere. So I had noticed that Boone was kind of depressed during that time. And I don't know if it was from what previously happened at our old church or what. It was just a lot going on. He was trying to build a new church.
Yeah, man.
And he was just depressed. I remember one time he had gotten us the house in Grayson.
Yep.
And I left him that Sunday in the theater room, and it was like some pizza and a Doritos bag in the media room.
Yeah.
And I came back the next day. Boone had on the same outfit with the same Dorito bag. I was like, have you washed your tail? And he was like, no, I've just been sitting here. And I was like, well, what's going on? And so he started not communicating with me or talking to me about things. It was like, I think on your last, one of your last podcasts, Suffering in Silence.
Yeah.
And I texted him and I was like, you know what? That's what you were doing when we were engaged. You were suffering in silence and nobody knew what you were actually dealing with.
Yeah.
So it started just to have an effect on our relationship. And then it was things like, we would talk about like, hey, we're not going to announce that we're engaged. You know, we just going to let people figure it out. It would be somebody in the church that would say, Boone, you need to let everybody know that you and Toya engaged. And then one Sunday he'll just announce it. And I'll just stand up and I was like, I thought we talked about you not announcing it.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. You sure? Okay. So that kind of what played a lot into it. His suffering in silence, it eventually started to affect me.
Yeah.
And then I don't think, like, I hate to say this because I don't think anyone is like a certain type of material, like first lady material. I was so far from that. I didn't want to be in the front. I didn't want to be in the back.
Yeah.
I just wanted to exist.
Yeah.
And I think he started pushing me in that role.
Yeah.
And I just started to get uncomfortable. I was like, I just want to be me.
Yeah.
And I think it was the pressure from everyone else outside of him
Yeah.
trying to tell him, hey, she need to do this. And hey,
You need this type of woman.
yeah, you need this type of woman. And I think we even went to premarital counseling with
We
his
did.
old pastors. And they basically was like, she not good enough.
Right.
And I started feeling like that's how he felt. And I was just like, I'm checking out of this thing. You know, like I wouldn't say it to him, but to me, I was just like, this is not something I want.
Yeah.
And I think he started feeling my energy too. But I also felt like he was dealing with the pressures of everybody else trying to tell him what he needed in a first lady instead of just like, hey, Toya is what I need. Toya is what I want. And I'm okay with that. But I think it was just really from the pressures of starting a church on his own. And he just felt like this is what I need to do at the time. So that's where it started breaking down for me.
Yeah.
Am I off?
No, I mean, I think everything she said is correct. I think for me, I just got emotional just hearing her be able to communicate it and knowing in hindsight, I had somebody who was trying to figure out what was wrong with me.
But
And I
you
couldn't,
didn't.
yeah,
You
know
couldn't
what I'm saying?
articulate it.
Yeah, I couldn't. And it was a lot of pressure. I think everybody wants you to be something.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, the thing that I loved about Toia was Toia would try to get me to live.
Mm-hmm.
And all I wanted to do was church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like church was like almost like just a safe place for me based off of just my context and my history, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But she was trying to get me to live, and I was in a place of pressure, depression. I didn't know what I wanted, who I was, like all this kind of stuff, what was happening.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I think all that was true. And I think for me, I was at this edge of, here's my best friend who I've known for so long, and I want to make her happy, and I want her to be happy. And then here is all these other people, and I want to make them happy,
Yeah.
and I want them to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then here is me, filled with all of my insecurities that she has no idea about.
Yeah.
And I'm at this crossroads of, it's either, and I'll just put it this way, kill myself, run away, or let her go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And neither one of the three options was easy or looked pleasant.
Yeah.
And I think my insecurities won.
Yeah.
My insecurities won. I remember the Sunday that it happened. I was so emotional, bro. Like, I had preached 3 services. I went in my office. I'm just crying in between every service. Everybody's trying to figure out what's wrong with me, my security, my armor bearer, everybody. And I remember this Sunday, it was at the end of the 3rd service. Toia comes in there, puts everybody out. And I'm sitting in my chair, and she's holding my hand, and I'm crying. She's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Just talk to me. And I just couldn't even communicate. I was shaking, and I remember her, and I think I looked at you and I said, I can't do this or something like that or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember she cries, I'm crying, she leaves. My assistant puts me in my truck, he drives, and I'm just like, I don't want to go home, just drive around. And it was the hardest day for me, the worst day for me, the most emotional day. It was an emotional day. It was just too much. It was just too much going on for me to even think right.
Yeah.
And like, I wanted Toia to be happy. And I knew with all of my insecurities at that moment, bro,
That was
I
kind of impossible
believe
for you to
I felt like I would let her down if I moved forward with this.
do. Yeah.
To be continued.